If I were you, I was gonna turn to my neighbor, tap them and say, shh, listen to the men. Yes. We never could have imagined having a mom, a pastor, and a prophetess in one would feel like church. And here we're standing, gleaming with answered prayers in palms. The very palms we pressed together to say those prayers. And we can see her face. Her face is a sanctuary. Glorious and majestic, congregating in the twinkle of her eye. And she's looking into ours. Paul and Silas, the chains of our smiles, every time it is worship. And we rest comfortably in the pew of our arms. A miracle cloth and body, this tiny temple that testified like communion, saints drink in remembrance of him. We never heard her sermon preached more accurate like from her mouth. But that moment folded her into envelope, an offering for her protection until her heart beats benediction. We have been blessed with a beautiful mother. And mom, Sometimes we would wonder if we're the kinds of sons and daughters you ever thought of meeting one day. If reaping and sowing really applies through us, do you reap what you planted? But we want you from us to expect nothing less than blood pure, so that you don't bleed as much when embracing broken at times, because God has made your heart cathedral, a home for his presence. And we still see you as glass, once lost in midnight, and now we are found by you, and you unite us with the Prince of Peace. But guess what? Once upon a time, before we met her, we were beasts, cursed with the curse that left us inclined to the wickedness of our hearts, our forms. We were downgraded from glorious to sinful, and we were doomed. But she introduced her to this untenable transformational force called grace. Even though we were unworthy to cross his path through the closest path, but she keeps on reminding us that his mercy lays upon us so heavily that and she suffocates the groanings of judgment and the cries of our guilty. And she reached past through the chambers of darkness and pulled us from the lost and found, and we are lost and found by you. And you just love and love the hell out of us. And because you understand to say, once the purest of blood was shed, it was never in vain. For when the beast we call sin says the end, you keep on reminding us that we'll live happily ever after. And you will live happily ever after. Happy birthday, mommy.